Hello guys and girls, you all know me, it's Nakul this side from Tech Boy, back with the honest review video of the Micromax Canvas Juice 2. So let's begin. Okay, so as all you guys know that I'll be telling the pros and cons about this phone, basically what a normal day user would like and dislike in this phone. But before I start this review, I must say that this is just another Android average device, but in a good way though. So it doesn't really have pros and cons which are or which will be new to you guys. They are just ordinary or very common, I would say. They are not big of a deal or anything like that. So don't expect much, but still I was able to observe some things and some pros and cons which I will surely tell you about. So let's go. So as usual, first of all, I'm going to be telling the pros about this phone, the good things, and the first thing that I like about this phone is the looks of the device. As you can see, the black and gray finish, it looks really nice. Plus the brush metal finish at the back and over here as well. This silver bezels at the bottom and at the top, plus the back. So it looks pretty stunning in the hand, guys. I mean, honestly, look at that. So this is the first thing that I like about this phone, the looks. Moving on to the second thing that I like about this phone is that it comes with Android Lollipop out of the box, which is pretty great. I'll just show you if you go in the settings, about, right over here, as you can see, Android version 5.0. So that's pretty great. Here we go, Lollipop. So that's pretty great. And the third thing that I like about this device is what this phone is known for, the battery, which is 3000 mAh guys, which is not exceptional I would say, but it's on the positive side. And you're gonna get from around 18 hours to 24 hours of battery backup with normal usage. And if you use less, you're gonna get more. But with normal usage, you're gonna get from 18 to 24 hours with your Wi-Fi and 3G data on all the time. I only turned it off during the night, but in the daytime it was on all the time, with running Facebook, WhatsApp, and a bit of calling also, and a bit of web surfing also. So I got from 18 to 24 hours. So that's pretty cool, and that's the third thing that I like about this phone. Moving on to the fourth thing now which I like about this phone is that it does have Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so it's almost scratch resistant. It's not a big deal, but it's still good to have the Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so I thought I would mention it. So let's jump into the fifth thing that I like about this phone is that this phone does have light in the capacitive keys, as you can see. Again, it's not a big deal, but I thought I would mention it because phones at this price are not coming with light in the capacitive keys, like Lenovo A6000 and even Huawei Honor 4X is not coming with the light in the capacitive keys. So it's good to have that this phone have light in the capacitive keys, guys. And lastly, the sixth thing that I like about this phone is that it does have 2 GB of RAM, so multitasking is not an issue in this device. It's pretty great in fact. So out of 2 GB you get from 800 to 1200 MB of free RAM usually. Right now it's 1145 as you can see. But if I kill all the apps, and now let's go over here, as you can see it's around 1329, 1334 right now. So this is pretty great. This is the sixth and last thing that I like about this phone, that it does have 2 GB of RAM. So that's all for the good things in this phone, guys. But before I start telling the cons about this phone, the bad things, let's talk about the camera, because obviously camera has some good things and bad things. That's why I like to keep it in the middle of pros and cons. So let's jump into the camera. So right now I'm not going to show the camera interface, guys, because that will take even more time. But if you want to see, then click right over here. This is the unboxing video of this phone in which I showed the whole camera interface. So if you want to see it, click right over here. So first of all, let's talk about the video recording quality, guys, which is nice and good, but there are like some things that I don't really like. For example, if we go in settings, in video settings, right over here in video quality, they haven't specified if it's a HD video, full HD video or whatever. They have just written fine, high, medium and low. Though I know that this phone can record full HD videos, but why not specify it over here so that the person can choose better. So this is the first thing that I don't really like. And the second thing is that when we start recording the video, you don't have option to toggle flash. There is no option. However, you can do that before you start recording. Means you cannot turn on or turn off the flash while you are recording. Plus the second thing is that you cannot click pics simultaneously while you are recording. When I click over here, nothing happens and there is no setting for it over in the settings also. So these are the three things that I don't really like in the video recording. So that was about the video recording, but now let's talk about the picture quality of this device, which is great outdoors. I mean, it's good enough, decent enough, nothing exceptional or nothing too bad. It's just decent enough. But indoors, it's kind of a average, I would say. But you can surely check out the samples right now. So as you guys just saw the sample, you can see that the pics taken outdoors are really good. I mean, I had no complaints with it at all. But pics taken indoors with flash, they have some noise in it and they are not as vivid as they should be, I would say. But I think it's okay because this is just an entry level, almost entry level smartphone, and you can't expect great quality out of it, so I was okay with it. So that was about the camera of this phone, guys. Now let's talk about the cons part, the bad things. And the first thing that I don't like about this phone is that there's actually a gap between the screen and touch panel. Though it's really less, 1 mm or even lesser, but there is. If you look at where my thumb reflection is, then maybe you can see that there is a little gap, and it doesn't really feel nice because you feel that you're touching the panel above and everything is happening a bit below the screen, like actual touch panel. And the second thing that I don't like about this phone is when you turn off screen, it's silverish or gray, you can say. And as you know, I don't really like phones which have gray or silver screen when you turn it off, because I think it gives cheap phone feeling. If it's black, it looks really great, but like this, you can see this is black, this is gray. It kind of gives cheap phone feeling, and I don't really like it personally. Anyways, let's move on. Now moving on to the third thing that I don't like about this phone is that it makes crackling and squishy sounds. I'll just give you an example. I hope you guys can hear that. So again, it gives kind of cheap phone feeling. So that's the third thing that I don't like in this phone. And the fourth thing that I don't like about this phone is the sound quality in headphones. Actually, the quality is decent enough. It's the volume which is the main problem. It's very low if compared to other phones. It's almost 60 or just 65% of what you get in other phones. So it's kind of a really low, guys, and this is something really bad, I would say. And lastly, the fifth thing that I don't like about this phone is that you don't have option to move your apps and games to SD card, and you get only 3.6 or 7 GB out of 8 GB, and that's all what you have to install your games, apps and everything. You cannot move it to the SD card. So that's the fifth thing that I don't like about this phone. So that's all for the pros and cons about this phone, guys. Now let's talk about some general stuff like the call quality, which is again is decent enough. I don't have high expectations out of this phone, and the call quality is the same. Not too good, not too bad. It's just decent enough. And I would rate it 7 out of 10 in the call quality. Plus I want to tell you that the loudspeaker of this phone is good. It's good enough. The clarity and the loudness is good enough. Obviously it's not exceptional again, but it's not as bad as Eureka and Acer Zenfone 5. It's just decent enough. You'll have no problem hearing the ringtone or songs, and the quality, the treble and vocals are also nice in the loudspeaker. So again, it's decent. And lastly, I want to tell you that this phone does support USB on the go, means you can plug in your pen drive and transfer the data. So that's again a good thing. So that's pretty much it for right now, guys. This was the honest review video of the new Micromax Canvas Juice 2. If you like my videos, make sure you give them a thumbs up and share with your friends. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, put them in the comments down below. Plus, you can also catch me on my Facebook page to know my current and upcoming activities. You can ask me questions over there as well. So the link of that page will be in the description below. Go and like me there as well. And thank you for watching, guys, and subscribe for more upcoming videos. Come on, subscribe. And I will see you next time.